Letter 368 by Charles Lamb. Colebrook Cottage, 6 April 1825. Dear Wordsworth, I have been several times meditating a letter to you concerning the good thing which has befallen me, but the thought of poor Monkhouse came across me. He was one that I had exulted in the prospect of congratulating me. He and you were to have been the first participators, for indeed it has been 10 weeks since the first motion of it. Here I am then after 33 years' slavery, sitting in my own room at 11 o'clock this finest of all April mornings, a freed man, with £441 a year for the remainder of my life. Live I as long as John Dennis, who outlived his annuity and starved at 90. £441, i.e. £450, with a deduction of £9 for a provision secured to my sister, she being survivor, the pension guaranteed by Act Georgii Tertii, and c. I came home forever on Tuesday in last week. The incomprehensibleness of my condition overwhelmed me. It was like passing from life into eternity. Every year to be as long as 3, i.e. to have 3 times as much real time that is my own, in it. I wandered about thinking I was happy, but feeling I was not. But that tumultuousness is passing off, and I begin to understand the nature of the gift. Holidays, even the annual month, were always uneasy joys, their conscious fugitiveness, the craving after making the most of them. Now, when all is holiday, there are no holidays. I can sit at home in rain or shine without a restless impulse for walkings. I am daily steadying, and shall soon find it as natural to me to be my own master, as it has been irksome to have had a master. Mary wakes every morning with an obscure feeling that some good has happened to us. Leigh Hunt and Montgomery, after their releasements, describe the shock of their emancipation much as I feel mine, but it hurt their frames. I eat, drink, and sleep sound as ever. I lay no anxious schemes for going hither and thither, but take things as they occur. Yesterday I excursioned 20 miles, today I write a few letters. Pleasuring was for fugitive play days, mine are fugitive only in the sense that life is fugitive, freedom and life coexistent. At the foot of such a call upon you for gratulation, I am ashamed to advert to that melancholy event. Monkhouse was a character I learned to love slowly, but it grew upon me, yearly, monthly, daily. What a chasm has it made in our pleasant parties! His noble, friendly face was always coming before me, till this hurrying event in my life came, and for the time has absorbed all interests. In fact, it has shaken me a little. My old desk companions with whom I have had such merry hours seemed to reproach me for removing my lot from among them. They were pleasant creatures, but to the anxieties of business and a weight of possible worse ever impending, I was not equal. Tuthill and Gilman gave me my certificates. I laughed at the friendly lie implied in them, but my sister shook her head and said it was all true. Indeed, this last winter I was jaded out. Winters were always worse than other parts of the year, because the spirits are worse, and I had no daylight. In summer I had daylight evenings. The relief was hinted to me from a superior power, when I, poor slave, had not a hope, but that I must wait another 7 years with Jacob, and lo, the Rachel which I coveted is brought to me. Have you read the noble dedication of Irving's Missionary Orations to SDC, who shall call this man a quack hereafter? What the Kirk will think of it, neither I nor Irving care. When somebody suggested to him that it would not be likely to do him good, videlicet among his own people, that is a reason for doing it, was his noble answer. That Irving thinks he has profited mainly by SDC, I have no doubt. The very style of the dead shows it. Communicate my news to Southey, and beg his pardon for my being so long acknowledging his kind present of the church, which circumstances I do not wish to explain, but having no reference to himself, prevented at the time. Assure him of my deep respect and friendliest feelings. Divide the same, or rather each take the whole to you, I mean you and all yours. To Miss Hutchinson I must write separate. What's her address? I want to know about Mrs. M. Farewell, and end at last, long selfish letter. Lamb expanded the first portion of this letter into the Elia essay, The Superannuated Man, which ought to be read in connection with it, see Vol. Roman 2, of the present edition. Leigh Hunt and James Montgomery, the poet, had both undergone imprisonment for libel. At a court of directors of the India House, held on March 29, 1825, it was resolved that the resignation of Mr. Charles Lamb of the Accountant General's office on account of certified ill health be accepted, and it appearing that he has served the company faithfully for 33 years, and is now in the receipt of an income of £730 per annum, he be allowed a pension of £450, £400 and £50 per annum, under the provisions of the Act of the 53 Geo. Roman 3, Cap. 155, to commence from this day.